That song, Panda, 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 Panda. That's all the song I have in my head. It was not very much of it. But that Emma Rossum, I really like her. I first saw her in, actually I don't know when I first saw her, but two great movies that I saw her in were The Day After Tomorrow and, wow, so nice. And, what's that other one? Phantom of the Opera. Wow, it's like hot in here. Wow. Wow. Wow, it's so nice. Sorry, that was like an inch of an eye. Okay, I'm going to, okay, so whenever I'm rocking on this chair, I move that way. Not forward, I move this way. It's so strange. So strange. I didn't know that happened. I don't know, like, I'm wondering if it's like because it's tilted or is it because like I'm like maybe crossing my legs and I'm like, I don't know. What? It's recycling day like right after garbage day? I thought it was like recycling day the next week. I thought like the town that I was in, it just like rotates. No? Huh. Ugh. I was gonna put all my stuff out. I have like a huge garbage bag of like stuff to get rid of, but I don't want them to take it like in recycling just in case they're like, oh, it's garbage. And they just get like fucky brain. I don't know. These people seem to like just put everything in like the same bag. I don't know. Actually, everybody seems to do that. If you've ever like, I don't know if you've ever been around like 2008 in Toronto, they had like a strike, a garbage strike, and everybody like filled the parks with garbage. They didn't know what to do with it. I would have just burned it. Or at least most of it. And I just would have had like a lot of like plastic, I guess, maybe. No, that's actually really gross, burning that stuff. Not very nice to everybody else. And it's definitely not nice for you. So if you're like burning it, just like leave. That's a really nice day. What the fuck is that? Wow, there's like ties in my, look at this. Oh, I always forget my stand covers. Look at the cute little ties in the tree. Wow, it's like the garbage wind just came. Huh. Look at that. Oh my god, it's my toilet paper. This is my like bamboo toilet paper. How weird. I threw that out in the garbage last night. What? Weird. Okay, let's get a little bit of that out. Kind of looks a little weird. Actually, it kind of looks pretty. Like, what if I like tied it? Although these grow, so like I wouldn't really want to do Well, that was bizarre. Like, what a perfect, like, garbage picks up your, well, garbage person picks up your garbage, and then my toilet paper flies out. It hits there. It comes this way. I wonder how it, like, flew out and flipped up in here. That's strange. I don't know physics, but yes. How weird. What the fuck was that? Yeah. Okay. We got our plant. Pretty much empty. Did very good. Now I have to I'm gonna cut some cord around. Maybe I'll put my shit outside. I can put my shit outside. Yeah, we just do that, whatever. School bus. I do find it a little bit strange that there's no seatbelts on school buses. What happens when you hit a school bus? Like, wouldn't everybody inside get really messed up? Those chairs are so uncomfortable. I've only ever been on a school bus when we were like, I don't know, going on some like trip. Talk about uncomfortable, like that. Oh, my stick didn't work. Okay, that didn't work. Swing, swing, swing. I tried to I hooked it to those curly things and then the bush, and it got really windy this one time, and then it was bending the curly thing out, and I think it looks cool. Like, I don't like aluminum anything, but I mostly don't really like aluminum anything because it's kind of very strange. Like, why can you get paid for returning beer cans, but you can't for pop cans? And now there's this, like, well, I guess there was before, but anyways, like, a lot of people started using, like, beer companies started having beer cans so that it was just the can, and then the brand was rippable off. And so you can most likely return that, but you still can't return pop cans. It's just like one of those like very, very flawed ideas. And I once went to like a beer store and all they were doing was like breaking all the glass. I thought you were able to like wash them out. But then I also know like if I fill my stuff up with laundry detergent and just use it for a while, you can't, I don't think that you can get that kind of smell out of glass unless you were to burn it. But I also don't think that they were ever like melting the glass down again. I don't know. I always find it like weird, like people like fill it with weird stuff. So how do you actually do that? Like, do you break it, and then how are you sifting out the garbage from the glass? I don't really think that they're that intelligent. Like, I know that they could be, but I don't think that they are. I know that they might be somewhere, but I don't think that I've ever gained that land. There's like a school bus lot back here, so like all these school buses were out early in the morning. I guess they like go for 7. Huge buses. They're in the lot that's like just like over there. lot of them have a license plate that's SHI. So I kind of think of like Shia. So he did this like really weird exhibit. Like I kind of like looking into like people in exhibits of like, if the news is saying one thing, they're never really right. So, and they love to like cause like weird things, like drama. Like Chicago kind of like showed me what that kind of news company does, where they like, the lawyer and the criminal have to like make a show in the right way at the right like moment of when they're getting their momentum, and then the news has to like they're like the smiling happy like mannequins. But that, I think they showed it. I don't know, I think everybody's the mannequin in that dance movie. But Shia, he did this apparently this like exhibit where he put a paper bag on his face, but he has holes, which was interesting because like that was like kind of like what they said Michael Jackson did. But everybody got that wrong too, because like something was up with Michael Jackson, because that looked like torture. And even Diddy did I was able to like do a deep dive, and he did an exhibit where pretty much he made fun of like a major religion, in kind of like how I would describe like Western fashion with Eastern fashion. So he like did this exhibit where like it was like the basic baseball tee, like, you know, like just like that like little sleeve and like goes to your waist, just like a baseball tee, what I call it, or like farmer's tee, like, you know, the farmer's tan. It's like this thing. But his was like the sleeves. It was the exact same cut, but it was like for a giant. So like his sleeves were like down to here, and then the whole like shirt was down to here. But it was like a massive T-shirt, and that, in my opinion, made fun of the major religion that's Arabic, where they wear like this, and it's also like monks wear it, but like monks is usually like open, so it's like a bathrobe, and then the Arabics have like the basic people, they have like the long sleeves and the very long dress that looks like polyester that's always like sticking to their legs in weird places because it's a really bad fabric. But like the major squad of the religion, theirs is like a longer like kind of like a cut tee, and it's like a long dress that's hanging with heavy fabrics because they're like rich. So I thought that they were making fun of that kind of thing, because like Shia was putting like a bag over his head, hide your face, and everybody wants to be able to see people's faces, but there's this like religion that wants to keep skirting the boundaries of like being able to hide from security. I kind of looked at it more like there's some people that can like see your face and visualize it inside of them, and there's people that never wanted you to use your like your visuary, like whatever, it's like your imagery inside of your mind. And because of that, they were able to like create a language, and then in other countries they can use that language and entangle it much differently. So like mental wards were created out of that, because like they'll find people that are you'll be able to say that they don't do this, this, and that. You'll never say what they actually do that they're good at. So you're never actually going to be able to get better if you go into the system, and you don't, because like it's like if the government gives you in that system, if they give you like say $1,000 and you get a job that's $2,000, they'll take away the $1,000 that they give you, and then they'll take now taxes from you, which it might be like $200 from $2,000, and then they'll also take like $400 off of that. So now they're taking like an extra bit off of the taxes that they already take from them. So when you're in that system, it's like too many people to say that it's really, really nice, but it's actually one of the worst cages that you can be locked into. It's very, very, very scary seeing, like I've seen so many people in that system, and wow, the damage is real that happens after. But that's just standard. Like mental wards were asylums where they used to torture people. Pictures, the best one was like the most nicest one was Twilight. You know Alice, she was crazy. They're doing these like skits with her, and so how she got out of there was she was about to be, I think, lobotomized, which is, you know, turning somebody into a zombie by shoving a pike into their eye, and they hit like one thing in your brain and just like, but you can like still like smile and like oh that's okay, like you're a baby now. You can never get over that. That's a permanent. You can never get over it. So we all, if you actually like care about somebody, you don't care about the mental ward. I was lucky that I was born in this one because I would have been lobotomized. But like sucker punch. But so the Twilight one, she is about to be lobotomized or something, and the night keeper, the groundskeeper, does something and he saves her, and they run out, and then I don't know how she turns into a vampire, but I'm pretty sure she turns into a vampire that night. It's a great skit. I have it like somewhere in my playlist. But I think I just like, to find them, I just have to look up Twilight's Alice for story of what she went through. But if you ever like want to know about like a mental ward, you have to go to the history of like what they used to do, and it was like, oh my god, like electrocuting somebody in their brain is not actually going to help them. My body electrocutes myself just by pulling too much, and then my nerve, like my bone will like bend over a nerve, and then it's the whole thing just electrocutes itself. So it's literally like touching a live wire that's not high voltage. I've had it happen a couple times. Like I was fixing these wires in the backyard because they were electrocuting the raccoons because the wires were like droopy because like nobody knows how to do any work, so they were droopy, and it was resting on a branch, and these raccoons would come from like one side to the other side, and they would always walk over that one thing, and they would like, it would be like like fuck. Okay, so I was like, okay, eventually I just had to be like, okay, I gotta fix it. So I had to shut down the power and like wrap the wires, and then I had to wrap them in another cord. I found these like little cords that have like a slit in them. It's kind of like a tube, and it was to put over the wires because I had some wires that were like internet wires, and they were cracking to all hell in the sun. So I had to like, I didn't want to like wrap them individually, so I had to wrap them in this like tube, and then from the smaller tube I put a larger tube. But during one of the points, I was like, I touched the wire and I got like, I was like, whoa, and it just like, it was heat. Oh god, it's fucking disgusting. It's a weird feeling. But when my arms do it, it's way worse. But I have like very severe, like when my legs get spasms, so I've like messed with like a nerve and a bone or a muscle. My toes, not my big toe, my other toes will go like this way, and I have to hold them together. But if I can't do that because it's so painful that I can't like move, I have to like crawl to a freezer and put my legs inside of it. It hasn't happened in a long time. Like, you kind of have to like sit in a weird position, or you have to like, I don't know, like bend down like in a weird position. I don't know, it's like really weird. But that just means I have to do like exercises because then it gets kind of better. But I only have one gym in this place, and it's got nothing. I would use like 2 of the equipments. Fuck. Like, I'm not really gonna use a treadmill. I'm just gonna run. They have like 4 machines, and the best one that I love is like when you can do crunches upside down, because I hate doing crunches this way, because the point is getting me backwards into a back bend to actually rotate my muscles like the other way, which is very necessary. So usually what you see is like, you always see people doing the standard exercises where it's always crunching forward and it's just like, "Arr, arr," and I'm already there. Like, I'm already at the point where I now have spasms where I could break my bones just by my muscles spazzing out, my toes at least. So it's just like one where like you put your hips on something, so my hips are right here, my stomach is facing the ground, and you just do crunches this way. I've only ever found one gym that ever had that, and it was best for my back. And just getting like the other method of crunch. But I've only found one place, and now they don't have it anymore. So I'm just like, I have no idea what it's called. So I need to make it, but I have no like standard like place that I can't be kicked out in like 3 seconds. So like, I need to like figure out in the area where I'm gonna be, and then I need to figure out a method of creating it very fast. And because people don't really like seeing anything that's like healthy, I always hit that. They like I deal with like people always finding me that love the porta potty that's plastic with blue goo. Like, and they always talk about science and nuclear waste and the nuclear bomb, and I find that one really, really interesting, the Hiroshima bomb. So there's a story of like the Hiroshima bomb, and it goes off, but it was more like, it wasn't a nuclear bomb, it was like a bomb of like exploding, like I can't even say it was like the flesh-eating virus that's really, really bad. It can kill you really, really fast. No, it was more like a mutation bomb. So it was like mutated your limbs off when it went off, right? Like a huge amount of people were like, whoa, like they started like morphing into like something that your body could never be comfortable as, and you're totally deformed. And then if it was like in the system of somebody, if you had children, your children woke up in that way. But then the worst one, so what I knew when it was like kind of like simultaneously, because like it happened like kind of like, I look at it like Japan. I think Japan has the same kind of flag as Canada, you know, the red and white, but like Japan is like solid circle, but then like Canada is almost like, I know it's a leaf, but it kind of like, what if that's just like a blurred out version? It's kind of like the blood slide of Dexter. A drop of blood. So the people that ran away from the war, so like say, I know English people that ran away from the war that were said to have attacked with the nuclear bomb. But when the people that ran away came to the new country, when they were about to have children, the doctors came and they were giving them a pill. And some mothers were like fighting the pill, and they were like, no, we don't need this. And it was kind of a vague, like, oh, it's gonna be good for you, it's gonna be like really nice. And my grandma was like, no, I don't really think so. I think there's something up with that. So I'm like, I'm doing fine. Like, you know, like, why do I need something extra? They were saying it was like a nutrient. Anyways, anybody that took that, their children woke up without limbs. It was the nuclear bomb in a pill. So, and not everybody, like they say there's not like, for 20, 30 years now, there's been 7 billion people in the world, but if you keep multiplying, you should be having more people. So it should be like at least 8 billion people, like, but the news still says 7 billion, 7 billion, 7 billion. So in my opinion, all they talk about is their class, their group, 7 billion, and they've never allowed anybody in. Kind of look at that like the Supreme Court. Your president isn't doing anything in that law. The Supreme Court is. The Supreme Court has people that sit in those chairs for life until they die. That's what I looked up, and that's what I found the law was. So your president's not changing anything. Clearly not. The people that are the president, the people that own all the worlds, are the road companies, the light companies. In any, like, I'm sure you've never seen a city or a country or a continent or whatever that never had a road that wasn't like the standard that is everywhere all over the land. And then those politicians, those political people also talk about black rock. Well, most of your roads are black and it is rock. I've seen I love like my form of like tarot cards is to like find it in the city. So what is this? What did your city landscape look like? Did it look like all of the private companies that are given money by a government to do work? Did it look like they were all in the same plan, all in the same architecture, all in the same method? Or was it kind of like they kind of had an idea, twerked it a little bit, and did it the best way they could? So, like, the best ones are like finding the people that paint the road. So, how they do that is they just kind of like put pylons around. And I watched these, like, so they painted the road and they put pylons around, and this bus just had to get through. So, it was like, I'm gonna move the pylons and it just runs through. So now there's just like this, like, track mark. Or the best ones are like when the people just like walk through. Like, how did you get people to just like seriously walk through the lines? Did they not care? Were they like sleepwalking? Because there's like so many weird, like, you didn't quite get the line down. The best one is like near my grandma's house. She has a dead end street, and it's now a 1, 2, 3 lane car lane. It's a 1 lane road. Now it's a 3 lane lane, and if you have bikes on the road, that's a 5 lane. So you have parked cars on one side, you have the ability to go down the road and then come up the road. And how they did the lines was nobody was allowed on the road, so they divided it into 2 lanes so you could go down and up, because there's a lot of like pretty much every house has like a parking on their lawn. Besides actually like maybe like a couple ones. So then they put the yellow line in the center to make it 2 lanes. But now there's allowed parking. So now the parking is in the 1 lane. So when you're what the best night that I saw this like as like an actual performance, the parking enforcement was looking for people to ticket, and they were literally driving in the center along, like, so their car was in the center of the yellow lane. Like, that's called illegal. You're not allowed to like actually like, you're not allowed to, the yellow line, you're not allowed to be on, like, you're not allowed to center yourself and just like go down it. Mostly like, well, I would say like if anybody tried that, you're just gonna get whipped by every single fucking division of police. So it's kind of like, okay, so if you change it, if you all of a sudden like it was 1 lane and then you're like, no, now it's 2 lane, that's a better idea, so you put the paint. After the paint, how did the people with the signs come up and be like, yes, you can park there? Because now you're not working together. So now it's like, okay, but if that's how it's going to go, you have to get rid of the paint on the road. You have to take away, it's kind of like how I look at like wires. It's like you come up with a new company, they come in, put the wires up, they cut the other ones and just leave them. Well, where's the fucking company that you're phoning to be like, yo, can you untangle my hair? Got some dreads up in here, I'm about to get really dreaded. You know, like, once your hair sheds and sheds and sheds, and if you don't shower every day, you have to learn how to like pull your dead hair out. There's a lot of like my grandma, she was like, Gwen, all of your hair is like everywhere. I'm like, yeah, because I would just keep like combing it out and not giving a shit. Now I do. Now I make piles and then throw it away. The only response she ever said was, maybe you have cancer. I'm like, well, I think that I have to go through radiation poisoning for that. And so then in my head, just like, because of comments like that, it's just like radiation poisoning could just also be like, you are shedding and you're now with something that really didn't know its body, and it's like the hospital, and it's just going to be like, they have cancer and we see all these black spots, and then they start pumping you full of something, and if you survive, but if you don't survive, well, sometimes I call that murder. Like, because you were just a shedder and you were dealing with people that seriously were like just woke up that day, were given a fucking weird script and kind of went with it, and everybody's on the same page, like, but then everybody's not the same in that weird, like, no, we're all the same, you have to do this. Okay, we're not the same because I don't want to do it. I don't know. There's this new method of putting up wires where they put them into sewers. So I was like walking around the city, and it was this one neighborhood going through construction, and I looked down, and it was like an old sewer that had like bricks, and it was like round, but the bricks were falling out, so mud was falling in. So not very intelligent, that build. But it didn't matter. They weren't fixing the sewer to put the wires in. Oh no. They were putting like wires that were like really big and like trying to hook them into the brick wall that parts of it were falling down. And the dude was like in boots, standard boots, like rain boots. He looked ridiculous with all his stuff on, and he was like splashing around in a puddle of water. And I'm just kind of like, so like after a time with all that moisture, if your wires, because that company might not be actually good, just start cracking, you could just have like an electrical blow, like a fuse out. Like you just like blow your fuse because a wire blows. It just doesn't seem intelligent. It's just like, in that way, your city is literally supposed to be fixing the problem to add a better solution, not create a solution because I don't know what their conversation would be, but like that's like me, and I get in trouble for like not doing that. Like my floor, I should have ripped it apart, like scraped all the old like what I did in my closet, but I was kind of like working with, because those people that just like do, I was just working with them. So like I thought that I could do. No, I'm not allowed to do. I have to like, if I'm not like a form of like perfect in that way, I get into so much trouble from like very different divisions of, like, I call it personalities that jump out of people to people. And I believe that everybody can have every personality, but I don't know. So now I'm like wondering, like, if I get my closet done and I have to paint the hallway, and now I have to paint the living room because there's like a patch there, drywall or plaster. And if I'm still here, do I rip up this floor? And up here, see all those lines? But you can't see them. You see, like, you might be seeing like, oh, it kind of looks white all of a sudden. Well, all of that is supposed to never have paint in those cracks. It's actually a very beautiful design of a roof. And when it's not painted, it's just like, I only did one job once. And I had to rip out that. And it wasn't as bad as this, and that shit's freaking hard, because like you have to do every line, and all of those lines have 2 lines. So I need like something very tiny to rip the bubbles of paint that grew, and I'm sure they painted it more than once, so that's gonna be real rough. And just having my hands up there, because they're not very strong right now, would be like, I don't know, I would say like to get to here would take me like 6 hours. You know, like I can do like a foot, I can do like this span around, like maybe this span around, then I have to move and then span around and then move and then span around, up and down, up and down. Like, that's what work is. But this kind of work, I'm very tired of it, because I don't actually believe that it's worth it, because I don't believe that like the house is taken over by somebody that cared enough. Like we did a beautiful design in the house that my mom sold. It had beautiful like custom countertops, and they were concrete. Paul built them. They were so beautiful. They were calico pink, my mom's like favorite color. They were so beautiful, but then when they sold the house, the people ripped it out, put the same crappy cupboards below, and then it's like this granite that's like granite. So people are, no, it's not. It's actually like so fucking ugly. And we made a countertop that was concrete, that was like fiberglass underneath, so it was like a fine coat of concrete in patches. So it was like calico, whatever, like mold, like mixing colors together. And then fiberglass on the bottom, so that it was going to be really, really lightweight. So it's going to be very easy to bring in. And if you ever wanted to like change the counters, you could just like pull them up. And then they just put this like nasty, like brown, yellow, like dots, granite. Ugh, so ugly. I was so pissed off because the guy that bought it already had a house across the street. And I've never dealt with this, but I've dealt with it 3 times. So first, when I was younger, my friend moved from like down the street from a small house into a much larger house, like half a block away on the same street. And then again, my friends, they lived right beside me. Really small house, very uncomfortable. So then they moved across the street, and it was a bigger house, so they were more like breathing. And those were the only thoughts. Every time I walked into their house, I was like, oh, it's all cramped. I always ever think of like the design and the comfort. And then the next time when my house is being sold, the guy across the street, he needs a fucking new house for his girlfriend. So, but not his like wife. So his wife and his children just like kind of disappeared at one point. And then he comes like, he buys the house across the street. Like, how the fuck do you, these are like $1 million homes. How the fuck do they have so much money? Like, what the fuck are you actually saying to me? And so much money to like, they ripped the entire house out. They put all like metal windows in, like the crappiest windows you should never buy. Just like fancy, like the government that took over, and they took away all your bathrooms that you didn't even have very many bathrooms in the first place, but now like they're going to be open like, I don't know, 1 day out of the whole year, basically. And now they just put like plastic porta potties with blue goo everywhere. It's like a construction worker is like never being able to go to the bathroom. Notice if like all the public workers, government workers, they're always in fast food companies because that's where the fucking bathroom is. Unless they go to like the TTC, say if it's like a TTC company, and they go in there and they're taking a shit, but like, or they're just in like, I always see them in Tim Hortons. Cops are always in Tim Hortons. Like, I actually had an experience in a Tim Hortons where I felt like somebody was following me, and this huge butch cop, I would like turn around, was staring at me. And then he had this like gangly little fucking other cop, and that cop was like, he actually said to me, yo, you're not allowed to have coffee. I was like, okay. So I just like looked forward, and I was just like waiting, and then I just took my coffee, and I just like kind of like went around them and left, and all they were doing was staring at me. I was like, what the fuck? It's like some bizarre shit popping out of your mouth. Fuck, like, I know it's on my mind not to drink coffee, but like, seriously? Very bizarre. Like, I always seem to get that person that says the most bizarre thing ever, and it's just kind of like, I feel like you didn't mean to say that to me. Like, what the hell? Like, fuck. Like, no one that I know knows that I'm an organizer or cleaner. Like, I've been doing it my whole life, and they can't have a straight conversation with me and tell me what I'm good at. It works perfectly for them, but they, like, I don't know, like, So I got really mad yesterday because I was so fucking sick of it. Like, I can whip through a room and like really fast. That's my energy level. But you tell me not to, I'm gonna recede back, and I can go so far back that I can personally just break down my body without touching it. It's very bizarre. It's always like, some people are looking after something, they have no idea what they're looking after, and it has nothing to do with any love that they actually have, but it's like some kind of like, maybe, like, I deal with people that don't love the person, they love the object, but I have to love their person and not the objects. So I can't have objects around me. So I'm getting rid of everything because they can just like, they can come in and just like throw you out in an instant. It's be my whole life forever. Not quite when I was a kid, I guess. I guess I was too cute back then. But not, like, me and my sister tried to run away each when we were like 6 years old. Around there. But they definitely have a hold on you once in a while. We enjoy like making them freak out. My sister though is way too nice, like, because of what happened with the world shutting down and putting a mask on your face, which I call the burqa. Um, they she won't stop. Like, every store she goes into, she puts it on. Every taxi, she puts it on. Every, like, the museum, she put it on. Like, any place like that, she's putting it on. She can't she's personally not allowed to like not listen to that cord. But me, like, I go from protecting who she is to like all around the complete opposite, and I'm just like driving full straight to try and get the hell away from all of that. Like, oh my god, that was sick watching that. That was disgusting. It should have showed everybody that you can't breathe, you can't sympathize with certain people that are not being influenced nicely to wear something like that. And it also is a distraction for the people that never really got seen correctly. Because, like, I'm smoking cigarettes right now, so there's definitely something in the air. Like, I would say I brought it in, though. Come on. Everybody that's a construction worker knew that shit was sick. Sick. When we wear masks and like the standard ones that they give you, all you have to do to realize it's wrong is sand a floor. It's gonna get caught. Take it off. You have this like patch, and you're gonna start blowing a huge amount of stuff out of your nose. Not as much stuff. Yes, it's kind of good, but not really. Like, the other mask that I've never really used on those jobs, but maybe it works better. It's like a plastic one, has like a sealant, and then it has like filters on the side. I would say maybe that one's the better one, but I've never actually tried it because usually I just forget. I'm just like breathing in a holy amount of shit. Like, the worst one is like when I don't do the safety protection of the eyes, because that's like my main one. Like, if you're working with my friend got his neck cut apparently because he's really careful, but apparently he just put too much pressure on a grinder and it cut his neck. But if I love you, I have dreams about things, and I start feeling pain in the places that if I find you, you have the pain sometimes. That scares the shit out of me. And the stories are always something different in my head. Just like how I wrote a book about CUP, cup. but my brain said, no, there's another letter. And it took me like, what was it? Like I wrote that when I was 20. Let's say I'm like, so it's like 15 years. It took me 15 years to realize that that business is a business in the city that I was like living in, but it's with an E. So it's like almost Cupid, but not ID. It's like CUPE. It's a major business. And they can like I mean major, like first off, it's a hospital. Like I call it hospital from hell. It's like nursing home. I don't know. It's like they have old people there. They have like I don't know. All I saw was like a bed that like the person was sitting in like this. It's like gonna eat them or something. It's like bah! And then I like met an old woman in there. I was like okay. And then the other time I saw them, they were working in the TTC. And the other time I saw them, they were in this like luxe hotel. It was like beautiful. I found them in the lobby, and there were so many people there, and like the lobby was absolutely gorgeous. It was like beautiful lounge everywhere, and like high ceilings, and like a standard room that was gonna be a piece of shit was like $600 a night. That was when I was like going into every hotel in the city, because I was like, at that time they were like, oh yeah, like the immigrants, or like I don't know, like I called them the slipper wearers, because everybody that was like going to the really nice hotels had slippers on. They just like were always wearing slippers. I was like, what the fuck? But obviously not all of them. And then I just like found out that like I can't afford any of that. Like there's no way I would ever be able to get into there. I would never be able to earn that kind of money. Like I don't know, like that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Like there's some rooms that are like $10,000. It's a lot of money. Like if you're making that kind of money, like I feel like that's the government that should have been taxing it all hell, and maybe not having the hotel. Maybe because like I would say it's not the person now, it's the hotel. Like if I was the government, I would just kind of start being like, that hotel is for, I don't know, you have all these homeless people, put them in the hotel. That's their life now. If they don't know how to clean, then you have to have people that are like really fast. Like my kind of landlord would be like, if you're in my building, I have to keep checking on it, because you can't just like, you can't allow like say like a huge amount of dirt to start ripping up my floors, and a deposit of $500 is not going to get me a new floor, new walls that have holes in them. Like that's just not the life. Like you see all those landlord stories of like, yeah, and then all this happened. Well, that's because like the law is not really working for you. Like I would have to check my building like once a month. Wow. Emilion. Emiliano. Emiliano. Sue. Who is Sue? AF. Well, oh my god, did you actually write out hi with the wave? That's cool. I've never really seen that. Usually it's just like you press the button. I say that the people that just press the button are like the people that like always want to like click the notification, like stop beeping at me. I hate seeing all the fucking like notifications. I gotta get all of them so they don't like fill out my screen. But it does go away after a little bit. It's that kind of tick that I call like the OCD. And if you're on there, like you might be around people that if you don't do those ticks and you sort of like become what you're seeing they do, because they're not really doing all that work, it'll get worse for you, because then that side is like, well, you're not doing that now, we can go into something more violent. We're not going to destroy the house, we're going to destroy you. But that's just like from like very strange. That's why I don't like houses, and I hate living with people. Like unless you're cool, but I've actually never like been able to magnetize that. I'm really good at like when I have too much energy, which I'm going to be going into, but hopefully I do it different. But when I have too much energy, there are some times when like it's kind of like a heartbeat right here, not like down here. It's kind of like this like weird like warm beat, like a beep kind of, and and I'm like what? And I like follow it like the invisible thread, and then I'll find something that's rotting. Like the most prominent one was when I was living with my step parents because they wanted to come back into my life, and so I was like okay, but they're so messy and disorganized and everything's like dusty and greasy, and they have these like beautiful teapots that were like my nana's, and she loved collecting teapots. But they were all like greasy because they were in the kitchen, which is like open, like grease goes everywhere, especially if you don't have like a proper vent, which most people don't. You have to be very rich for that. And So I just like started washing all the teapots, all the grease that was like furry now. Um, because like after you get grease on it and then the fur, it's gonna start like solidifying into kind of like a very hard material. So I just started washing them. But the one teapot that gave me some weird heart thing was like full of mold. So it had like tea bags in it that were moldy. It was really gross. And so I like dumped it out, and now there was like a slime ring around it, and like it was kind of hardening because it was evaporating, and as it evaporates with that slime, it becomes like very hard grease. So I was like scrubbing the fuck out of it, and then I had to like soak it to get more of the actual stuff out. And they woke up and they started yelling at me to not touch their teapot, and because she dumped out the water. And then when I went back and filled it up, she started yelling at me not to touch her teapot. It was her favorite teapot. It was her mom's teapot. And that's when I knew I was mother, because mothers protect what you have. Just like parents protect what you have, fathers protect what you have. So in that story, they protect what you have. So then I knew that she wasn't protecting what she had. So she wasn't cleaning it out. Like when she said, I cleaned it out, I looked at it, no, and I scrubbed it more and it was clean. So they didn't know how to like put pressure on anything, but they know how to do some other kind of pressure to my version of person that's like very, very, very scary. And because it's like breaks down my body, not just my mind. Yeah, and it was just like it was like so then I got really mad, and I was like, fine, you want grease all over my nana's teapots? Fine. So then I got their fat and I just started rubbing it all over. That was bad. Don't ever do that. That was like I learned from that. And then I filled up her teapot with tea, water, hot water, put some tea bags in it because now I thought that she was doing an experiment for mom. And I had fucked up. And she was actually trying to make a mold. Like maybe she was trying to make like that weird one that I always think of, where it's like this like medicine made out of mold. I got arrested shortly thereafter. So. Won't do that again. So now I'm very cautious as to where I clean, who I clean for. I'm very nervous about going to meet other people in case I meet the wrong person that just wants to like be whatever that stepmom was. Kind of like pretend that they are, but then when you're there doing it, they're just gonna like, I don't know, like if I don't react, is it still the same? Like, do I get in trouble again? Like, I don't know. So, we're sewing up that, I guess. Oh my god. I actually kind of like the movie Freddy Krueger, but there are like some crazy scenes in that, like when they're like force feeding this woman her own guts, and she just like explodes later. Like it's pretty graphic. Good God. It's like graphic how Freddy Krueger was born, and what's more graphic is now like you don't even like because I started from not seeing the new one where they called him a pedophile and there was scenes of like him messing with children. Like I didn't grow up with that. I grew up with like his mom was imprisoned in a mental ward and raped by pretty much everybody, and then from that she had a child, and I'm sure she didn't survive or something because like she's not really in it. And he seeks revenge on the people that put his mother into the place to have him be born in that way, to then get destroyed by the people that didn't want anybody to know what they had done to his mom. It's what I grew up with, and now it's just like I watched the next movie and it was just like, well, if that happened, I guess, but how do you get from telling people that grew up with the other side that that's the side, because now through that incredible pain he became an actual monster of magic, and he couldn't get away from that weird dimensional door that's so powerful it is the essence of evil. And now he like nobody taught him how to change, so if he is a monster of that evil in a way, if you had told him to change, maybe he could have changed the math of the monster that now obtains him. You can't kill him because the monster is always there. It needed somebody to birth into that reality to like kind of become his hand everywhere. And that evil doesn't care about anything. But take it literally, like if you actually have somebody attacking people in that way, obviously that's really bad. Like that's just obvious. But I've actually dealt with a lot of really bad people, and it's not them getting in trouble, it's the victim. So they were already victimized, now they're the monster that can get victimized again, not be called a victim, and now they're the predator. So I've dealt with a lot of people that were like that. The most easiest one is like, if you think somebody's homeless, why the hell are you going up to them to make their life worse? What was that about? What is that? Fuck. A stroller just passed. It's a kind of stroller that I actually want. It's really expensive just because like I don't want a wagon anymore, because like holding something from behind really like hurts my like shoulder. It's a lot of weight. I always have to be engaged, and that's not really a form of like strengthening yourself. So they have these really nice strollers that you can just like push, but they're like really, really expensive. But I don't really know if I don't want that anymore because I'm not gonna be collecting stuff. I'm gonna kind of do it like if I don't know, I have to change because I love obtaining objects, but I can't keep them, so I have to almost like I used to, like, if I knew you, I kept it in my mind, like, what you enjoyed. So then I would, like, if I found it, I would, like, find you and give it to you. So I do enjoy that. And what I really enjoyed, I wanted to, like, create a business where kind of like a Valley Village. That's what, like, this store was. But then Ginger came around and Home Sense won the battle because my shit looks like homeless shit. It's, like, secondhand, rugged. I can fill a mansion with my shit, and it doesn't look like what a mansion usually is full of, which is Walmart stuff. Not in this town, though. This town, no. This town does not know how to, like, give their products that they don't need anymore onto the street. Toronto, though, very, very good for that. People try and play it like you can never get something from the rich. I did this like roundabout where it's like my grandmother lives 30 minutes away, so I did a roundabout. It took me about probably like let's say like 12 hours to get there, with a wagon collecting stuff. And it is kind of true. Like the the rich neighborhood doesn't really do it, but they also don't really have sidewalks. So it's kind of just like, I don't know, they call that what, catch 22 or something. It's just kind of like, I think that's more the problem, because if they were putting it out, they're putting it out on the road or their lawn, and they don't really want it on their lawn because they're maintaining their lawns very detailed like. So I think it's more just like convenience over whatever. But you can find everything. Like I can find anything. I ripped up. I don't like ripping up nice things, but I found this like really nice leather red couch, and a friend needed his chairs fixed because it was like vinyl and it was cracking and broken. So, but he had a red couch, so I was like, okay, fits perfectly. He's gonna have the chairs and the red couch because right now they're black, the chairs. Um, and what's sad is I think I got rid of it, but I ripped up the couch, like all the pillows, because I now had like a nice like pallet that I'd be able to like fit on the chair and then cut and then like do the pinning of the, because it's like a, I don't know what the fuck to call that. Just like you put the pins inside and that sits down the little tiny nice like cover. Upholstery, upholstering your stuff. Like my aunt's a seamstress, so she does, and she hates doing it because it's very, very difficult. And I would not even kind of know how to do the most difficult part, like where it's not even the pins, like where it's kind of like a bump, and you seamed it. I don't even know how the fuck they're doing that. Like where is the like a machine that you're able to like on a couch like stitch that? Well, fuck kind of machine is that? That part I never actually asked her. But she doesn't want to talk to me anymore, so like none of my family from that era talk to me anymore. Besides 2 people, but anyways, well 3 people I guess. Oh, wouldn't it be nice if... I love the movie Emma Rossum. That's why my title is Emma Rossum. Slow Me Down. I love that. She was great. I learned about hypothermia and how to warm somebody up in one of her movies, The Day After Tomorrow. And I loved her in Phantom of the Opera. That's kind of like the Freddy Krueger one, where he's like, he looks like, back in the day they say like if you looked deformed, you could be known as a monster and put into a cage, and they still have that. Like if you look into the history of like right now, they still have it. Like if you're known as like a mental patient in some places, the person that's taking care of you, like Benny and June, but the brother was an asshole, and she was really smart. Um, they can just like lock you in a shed with chains and not really feed you. That's a thing. There's also like mental wards in places where they give you one drug. Everybody gets one drug, and this one that I looked into, like everybody was like given one drug, and for one, like maybe say manic or whatever, they just pick out of the barrel and just give everybody the same thing. And what was gross about this place was it was dirt floors, and some of them were behind bars, and they were like chained to the bars. It's totally disgusting. And that's happening like right now. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I don't think people put enough effort and research into what they just kind of talk about. They love the ability to know that everything's like safe and looked after, and everybody that has the power is going to do it correctly, but that's not real. It's really not real. So we're going to put my stuff out. we're gonna put me shit out. And then I have to bring it to the side tonight just in case the recycling people don't take it. Okay? Okay. Let's do it. And then I'll get ginger tea. And I'm not really sure I'm spelling Emma Rossum correctly because I don't think it's UM. I think it might be EM. I don't know. Anyways, let's do that. It's a nice day, so this stick didn't work. It's like summer, spring. It's really nice out here. I'm just gonna lay you down. I can't really see the screen to see if you can see it. Oh, there's the garbage gate there. Okay, I think this should help a little bit more. Support them feet because it's very wobbly. like supporting businesses. That's what I'm. Ooh, watch out for the horses. You see them? I don't know if you can see them, but they're about to cross the road. They also go through the drive-through at Tim Hortons up there with their horses. Like, people that do that are rich, rich, rich. I have a cousin that has like at least one horse. She was so mean. That's what I know, like the mean people really get it. Only some nice people will. She extremely bullied me when I was younger. And then she abused her. She thought it was funny to like tell me that she abused her children. It was kind of like, I don't know, like she didn't remember abusing me. So like that was it. That was like the last time I ever went to those family parties, and then I just stayed there for so long. I had it with that family. These things were $45 each. And they died pretty fast. Like, he missed his like leg, he's got no foot, he got no thing up here, but $45, like $85. It was just like really nice, like everything from Germany or something. And it was owned by these two ladies that kind of reminded me of, without the singing, the singer's Coco Rosie. And they had my favorite candy. It was like a hard candy, lightly powdered. It looked like a raspberry. And it was so good. And they were the only place that I ever found them at. And I used to get it from French class when I was like in school. And then now, it was really weird. Like, a lot of turnovers, and I found like in my neighborhood a lot of old people got replaced, and they were asking like simple things. Like one of them was asking for like waterproofing in her basement of her shop, but then they came in and just destroyed the place, and now it's like kind of like a Tibetan style, but it's just like that design where it's like they have a massive shell that I want to like make into a sink. And like hard cushions that are very like colorful and fancy, like that kind of stuff. Anyways, not cool. And now one of the older women went away, and I went inside and I was like talking to her, but I was asking her questions, and this big fat stout woman that I kind of like call like the true monster people, didn't like me talking to her, so she came up and was like, "Hey, you're not gonna buy anything. Get out of here! Get out of here!" And I was like, "What?" I'm just like talking to somebody that I've actually known for a long time, way longer than you've been here. But apparently she's the older woman's family, but the woman's like very thin, and I was dealing with a very fat, stout woman. So obviously you're stealing the old woman's food. And the woman did want to talk to me, but it was kind of like strange how she was like going about the conversation. It was kind of like she never gets a word in, and she's like too timid. Yeah, and so the stout fat woman that I call like the raccoons from hell, she said, "You're banned from this place, you're never allowed back." Okay, well, a long time ago I bought these from the two older women. I didn't mind it, but now they're just like, well, it is shit. So you guys were taking advantage, but I don't like hate the women for that. Now I kind of look at it like, oh, it's like that fucking one woman. But what was weird is like when the fat stout raccoon lady came in, that's like the male that like yells at like the other one and lets the other one like go to the end of the branch and just keeps on yelling and yelling and yelling. Just like the raccoon's just gonna like fall off the little branch. I don't know if you've ever seen that. She like when she came in, all of a sudden like it was always really beautiful displays in like the windows, but now they like sold half of like the shop, so like one half of it is like the worst, and I mean the worst bathing suits ever. It's like if you put that on, you're gonna be like cut weird, like you're gonna have like skin showing where like your vagina is, and like the part where like if you don't shave, it's gonna be like what the fuck. And also it's just like what the fuck. It's just like it would be so awkward to wear it, and the fabric just looks like disgusting, and that kind of like slimy fabric where it's not really like I don't know what to say, but it's just like slimy in my opinion. And the designs are just like, oh god, they're just like so fucking branded. So it's like a kiss the chef type shit. It's completely against like German, well crafted, or at least like he has some design in his thing. So just like design, and if I had like a safe place where I didn't have people come in and like break things, or I wasn't having to move so fast and like just like shove everything in a garbage bag, which is CIS, which is like when the government comes and steals the children away. But I never had it so fancy in the stories, like Blindside. But also like Blindside is also talking like that was literally my life. Like I would go to the gym in the middle of the night because everybody was arguing with me, and I would just wait for school to start. Like we didn't go to the gym, we went outside the gym, and we would just like sit in the cold. But so like yeah, he taught me that he just kept trying to get away from that form of CIS. I find that I always deal with people that talk about like not CIS, but it's like CIA? I don't know what the fuck the CIA is, but maybe it's somebody running away. alright. Got out. And now the only stuff that I'm like leaving in this house is stuff that they get rid of. Kind of organized it. Toys. These things I was getting for a sec, I thought they were going to be full, but then I had to stuff them, and so I just kept one. So I'm just gonna have one lemon. So my bag is yellow. But I got like whatever that is. I have to figure out what that was supposed to be. There's no picture, so I don't know. I don't remember what that one was. And there's another lemon. I got like 3 sizes of lemons. And this, I thought it was gonna be trim, but it ended up being like this big. I didn't like really read it. I wanted it like big. Toys. Some nice stuff. That's like all nails. This one's because like he likes heating up his Paul likes heating up his coffee, but he didn't like this idea. Which these kind of things don't really work. They seem to burn out really fast. He just puts it in hot water now. This is like banana flask. I'm gonna keep one because you can just have like a little bit of water just if you ever need that like sip. This stuff never worked. It was like I never got it working. A little vacuum. It did not go anywhere. I guess I already got rid of the pot, so there's just the lid. And then like a whole bunch of clothing that I either picked up from the street or like village. I really liked this dress because it reminds me of Dark Angel. But I don't have places to like wear stuff. So it's whatever. I made this shirt. It said like dad to the bone. But because I tied it together, it's supposed to be bad to the bone. And I ripped it up and like kind of made it Halloween-y. There's that. These bras I've had for like years. I bought them way back when from Pink. I got 2 for $90 and I never really wore them. It's just like waste of money in my whole life. So now I'm over it. I don't want to buy stuff. I don't want to take part in like whatever the fuck ginger shit is. It's like fancy. Like blah 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 blah. Like it was a restaurant before. I really wanted this property, but I don't know that kind of paperwork. And I would have done exactly this idea, but I would have also had a cafe in there. Damn, yeah. And all this parking space is like, this is never used. Trucks usually go over there and just sit. So I kind of wanted to do like a thing where like I don't really understand where they go to the bathroom if they come at night. So like I would have just been open, or there would have been like a sign like phone me in the middle of the night and you can come and like chill out and I'll come chill out with you because I don't mind that kind of energy. And then I would have wanted like maybe if nobody's ever using this, there's part of that where they're gonna apparently build a huge apartment right there that's gonna be like bigger than the house. Like why not like a seating area? And I always wanted to do like movies outside. But when I was thinking of an idea where this other place I